Let's start the news from the Upper West region. And construction work for a 275-meter international bridge across the Volta River will soon start. And that's according to the Deputy Minister of Roads and Highways, Anthony Kabo. Mr. Kabo says the construction of the bridge over the Black Volta will facilitate trade and commerce between Ghana and Burkina Faso. He disclosed this at the project site during the meeting with a delegation from Burkina Faso. Rafik Salam reports from Dikpe.
A long-awaited, over 60-year-old dream about to be accomplished. Delegation from the office of the Prime Minister of Burkina Faso is meeting its Ghanaian counterparts at Dikpe for the construction of a 275-meter international bridge across the Black Volta. They were joined by chiefs from the Lora traditional area, led by its president, Napo Cabo III.
People under ECOWAS will move freely across two countries and it will develop our place. Especially the impact will be very great across our friends and sisters over there. So it's a good news, and we think that the whole of Lora should be pleased that His Excellency has decided to address some need that has been pending for over 60 years.
Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways, Antonio Kabo, showed them the designs of the bridge, as a larger portion will be on the Burkinabe side, and therefore the need to engage the Burkinabe authorities to enhance smooth work.
This project will not run into any problems, cross-border related issues, land litigations, because farms are going to be affected, and in many cases project affected persons must be looked after under the project. And so the committee will help with that process and make sure that both sides have a common understanding about the importance of the project. But of course, the importance of the project is known to both sides, and that is why our commitment levels are so high.
It is a major route that is significant in the lives of the people who live in these countries. Many people use this route for commercial purpose. In the rainy season, they are however cut off due to the rising water levels at the Black Volta, forcing most of them to use canoes to cross from one end to the other. Due to its proximity, the Lora weekly market is more patronized by Burkinabes who lives across the border.
Last 2 years, the president himself was here to inspect the site where this construction will be going on. The 2018 budget statement, which was read on behalf of the president by the finance minister, captured this particular bridge. Since then, a lot of work has been going on in the background in terms of doing the soil testing, working on the concept, working on the design, and also finalizing the structural work as far as the bridge is concerned. Indeed, it's a 275-meter bridge, and it's a very long bridge which will be constructed to aid trade between these two important economic zones.
The contract has been awarded to Greener Company. They have already sunk some wells to test the soil texture of the area. To Fideli is the team leader of the delegation from Burkina Faso.
Il m'a dit donc qu'il faut vite faire pour savoir ce qu'il en est. Il voulait même nous détacher quelqu'un de spécialement dans le
My coming here is to ensure that within this year, the project is carried out very fast. That will establish a good relationship between us. Even though we are in different countries, we are the same people, and I'm looking forward to see the project come into fruition.
D'ici, de la zone là, lui-même traîne d'Agara, il est de Dissine, et il sait très bien que s'il y a un projet comme ça qui nous lie déjà Lora.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Dikpe.
In other news, the president of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Yaw Edugyenfi, says government policies on manufacturing and other related industries do not create space for local companies to employ the teeming unemployed youth in Ghana. He says most of the policies so far undertaken by the MPP government promote importation of finished products instead of promoting local industries. He says this situation could ultimately kick out many local industrial players out of business. Dr. Edugyenfi was speaking at the 15th congregation of the Kufodua Technical University.
In at the 15th congregation ceremony of the Koforidua Technical University under the theme Technical and Vocational Education Solution to Graduate Unemployment in Ghana, Dr. Edu Jemfi chastised government for not honoring his promise to support local industry. He says most of the policies taken under the MPP government promote importation of finished products instead of promoting local industries, a situation he says will kick many local industries out of business. He cited recent policy direction by government on the reduction of import duties by 50% for general goods and 30% on automobiles, among others, as a policy which will collapse local industries and create unemployment. Dr. Yao Edu Jemfi questioned the effect of the 2017 Asempa budget, which sought to support local industries.
The first one is government policies do not favor industrial development. The biggest example I can give you just what happened just 2 weeks ago. The recent government policy of reduction of import duties by 50% for general goods and 30% on duty for automobiles. What the government is saying is that all the imports that are coming to the country, they are reducing the duty by 50%. What are you saying? It means you are promoting importation rather than promoting local production. As a result, there's going to be influx of imports in the country. These imports will continue to displace our locally manufactured products. Why industry is not able to grant employment is also lack of government support for local industries. What happened to the 2017 Asempa budget that was presented by Minister of Finance? The lack of government fulfillment of promises to businesses in Ghana do not give us opportunity to guarantee jobs to our graduates. Government must provide incentive for the private sector to take up the students for internships and permanent employment. Incentives like what? Procurement of machinery equipment to set up training sites in our companies to train these students. Governments must also embark on procurement of locally manufactured goods, awarding contracts to local companies rather than buying imported goods.
Vice Chancellor for the Koforidua Technical University, Professor Smile Gavua Jisi, hinted the university continued to inculcate the spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation into their students. She said the latest boost is the Vice Chancellor's Entrepreneurship and Innovation Challenge, which seeks to inspire initiative, teamwork, creativity, and tenacity.
Former President John Dramani Mahama says any attempt by the Akufo-Addo-led administration to sell off the Commander Sugar Factory will not be in the best interests of the people of Ghana. According to him, the best thing for government to do is to engage in the public-private partnership to keep the factory running. Addressing the people of Commander during his tour of the central region, Mr. Mahama dismissed suggestions that he wanted to sell off the Commander Sugar Factory during his era. Richard Kojonakon was there and has more.
He's been accused many times of starting the Commander Sugar Factory without the necessary planning and steps to procure raw materials and other things incidental to the growth and sustenance of the $35 million facility that has failed to produce sugar for commercial purposes as initially envisaged. Over the past couple of weeks, the NDC administration under the former president has been accused by some government officials of starting the processes to sell off the Commander Sugar Factory. But Mr. Mahama, during his tour of the town, shrugged off these criticisms, describing them as false.
No plan to sell the factory. The intention was to get a partner under a PPP arrangement. PPP means public-private partnership. There was never any plan, I can say emphatically as the former president under whom that factory was built, that there was never any plan to sell off the factory. So there's still about 3,000 acres of land available for planting sugarcane for the factory. And so that money was meant to plant the core farm, and then the balance of it was to register outgrowers. And so all the small sugarcane farmers around Commander and its whole catchment area into western region who are growing sugarcane were going to be assisted with new planting material, because the kind of sugarcane we plant does not have enough juice in it to produce enough sugar.
He wants government to stop if it has already begun processes of selling the sugar factory to anyone divesting of government interest in the factory. He says such a move will be in bad faith and not in the interest of the people of Ghana.
I've recently heard that the government says it wants to sell the factory. It is unacceptable to sell the factory. This is an investment the government of Ghana made. We can get the expertise and the technology to make this factory work. Sugar is one of the products we import so much of, almost $200 million worth of sugar every year. So if we produce part of that sugar here, then it will reduce the foreign exchange we have to take outside to go and import sugar. And so I'll urge the government to follow the path that we took.
Mr. Mahama promises reviving the sugar factory when he becomes the president again in 2020, a dream he zealously hopes will come to pass. Richard Kwejenyako, Joy News, Cape Coast.
And that's it for news. Well, we're about to look at the front pages of the various newspapers. We have a couple of them in the studio. Myself, Koje Yankson, and Mamavi Oswabuaje. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the latest details.